It's a most welcome to my amazing video. So this video I want to talk about my flight experience. Many people have been asking me, what was your first flight experience like? I've been trying to tell anyone this story of my first flight and everyone has been laughing. So I said, why wouldn't I share this story to my audience? So they can either laugh. You never know, we have the same experience with someone out there. I'm very sure someone has the same experience with me being on the first flight. So let me just tell that story. So reaching the first flight, being at the airport for the very first time, I was very confused already. When I reached the airport, I was very confused. I didn't know which procedure to follow, where to go, where to do what. Everyone seems like they're minding their business. No one cares about you in that airport. No one. You are all by yourself. No one cares about you. You're on your own. No one is bothered about your problems. I'm like, I reached there with my luggage. I first went and saw a list of things, arrival, what time for check-in. I wasn't understanding anything completely. I wasn't understanding anything. Then some gentleman moved in and he helped me. He's like, oh, I know you. I've seen you on TikTok. I'm like, I work here at the airport. I'm like, that's good. Now let me ask him the question. From there, I asked him immediately. I'm like, I've just arrived this airport. Where am I supposed to go after here? And he told me, you can go and sit there and be checking on this list. They always do the calling. They call out the check-in time. When you see your plane time, they ask you which airline I use, and say Rwanda Airline. Okay, they told me that is the list. And Rwanda Airline is not yet. You're still on time. They are not yet checking in. And I'm like, okay. Then I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like, go and sit there and give be vigilant, make your ears very sharp, like listen to your time for the flight so you don't miss your check-in. I'm like, okay. So because I checked in very early because I knew my problem. It's my first time at the airport. I didn't want to make a mistake of coming late, so I came in 5 hours before check-in time. 5 hours. I think it's the most advisable thing to everyone there. If you're coming for the first time at the airport, do me a good favor. God's favor, please come early. If not, the plane will leave you. The plane is not like a bus here. It's not like a bus where you just you can catch a board and you run after the bus. You get a bike and you run after the bus and they stop and they let you enter. It's not the thing with a plane. Once it goes, is there? Can your border climb, fly? If your bike, your motorcycle can fly, then you can. If your car can fly, then you can come late. Because if you're even new, you don't know which procedures. You are just there. So I went and sat there. It's like people at the airport are not so friendly. Everyone is minding their business. No one wants to talk to you. Everyone is looking at you like. I'm like, this place is strange. It's not like when I go to the bus parks here in Uganda. I have just been talking to everyone. I'm just talking to everyone. Like everyone is just, everyone is just okay with me. Everyone is just talking. Everyone is just vibing. But at the airport, people are minding their business. No one wants to know about you. So I sat there. Everyone is just in their own thing. I said, oh, what is going to happen in this place? I said, let me not sleep. I was just there. I said, there's no sleeping. I couldn't even sleep because I was so nervous. I couldn't sleep. Where would even the sleep come from? Being in a plane, I'm imagining myself going somewhere, going high on the sky, and for the first time, you're just being on heights like this and imagining a lot of things. So I said to myself, calm down and be very vigilant. So I was watching. I was watching. And that time, that check-in, I was watching it, making sure they don't leave me. So the problem with that sound, they always say, check-in. The English is quite, that English is quite complicated. I don't get it. I'm not understanding. Are they calling? I want to hear airlines. Airlines. I'm like, this one, if I stay and use people's English to direct me, I'm going to miss my flight. I would pretend like I would leave my bag somewhere and pretend like I'm just moving. But when I'm seeing the check-in, making sure that I don't lose track. So I don't understand. I saw they have called some certain group of people and I saw Rwanda check-in. So immediately I came with my bag. So when I came with my bag, we entered at your first check-in point. That first checking-in point, we put in our luggage. The luggage went and left us. We went. We went to another check-in point with our luggage again. There you remove your shoes. So I think actually the best idea is for you to not go with those those very complicated shoes, which you have to remove. You have to do what? It's very complicated shoes. Don't wear them. And you are supposed to not move with in your hand luggage. You leave your lotions and everything. You don't have to move with it. Mine was taken because of that reason. You have to leave your hand lotion and everything and your oil and everything in the suitcase, but don't enter with it in the plane. They don't allow you to enter with such in the plane. So from at the airport like this, I put they reach the part where they remove our shoes. You put your shoes inside that machine. They have to make sure you're not entering with any illegal things. The checking is massive. It's not like our bus here. You can travel with anything in your bag and go to your final destination. No one will know. But Ugandan, when I reached the airport, we went and checked in, and then we went to that side where you're now waiting for we finished all the procedures. Now we're waiting for our flight time. So when the flight time arrived like this, they took us outside, and the plane was there waiting for us. When I came out to see the plane, guys, I was shocked. It is a local flight. I don't know the difference between local flights and international flights. I don't know. But the plane was quite small. And I'm like, what is this? This one is not what I have been seeing. I've been seeing a very big plane. Very big aeroplane. Why this one is so short like this? The plane was just very small. I'm like, this one is it what is this the kind of plane? I was so disappointed. I paid my $600 to just sit in this small plane here. I was disappointed. When I entered inside the plane, it is just like, it looks, I'm like, what is this? I didn't understand the plane. I'm like, what is this? And I said, okay, of course I did not pay for first class. We went paid for what I can afford behind the first class people. So of course I paid for the window because I wanted to see with my own eyes what is happening outside. In case I want to see what is happening with the plane. I want to see what is happening with my plane, with the plane. I didn't want to make that mistake. Sure. I paid for at least I paid for the windows. I paid for the windows. I changed my seat to the window. They'd given me a seat in the middle, somewhere there. I said no. I paid all my flights. I'm going to sit at the window, to and fro. I want to see what is happening outside. I want to see it with my own eyes. I don't need anyone to tell me stories. So when I entered the plane, we sat down. The plane was about to take off. No, this thing does not take long. Immediately enter like this. They don't take long like the buses here. We wait for buses to leave. 2 hours are still in the bus, waiting for people to come. The plane is quite more organized, and I love the way I love the way Ugandan Airlines are also. They are very organized, very organized. So no, Rwanda. It's Rwanda Airlines. I use Rwanda Airlines, not Uganda. So now when we went there, the plane was about to take off. They said, tighten your seat belt. I said, this is it. This is it. My heart. Do you know, by the way, the most funny thing is when I was traveling, that first flight, I didn't talk to anyone. I was just quiet. I was just looking. I even feared to ask anyone. I felt I didn't know what was happening in my mind. I am so scared. I am so nervous. I'm like, I don't know what is happening. Even the person I sat next to, some woman, the woman, I couldn't even tap her. She's even an African. I couldn't even ask anything from her. And everyone looks like they mind their business. They don't want to know about your problems. So I sat there. I'm listening to the flight. They said, tighten your seatbelt. I tightened my seatbelt. Please, I beg, you have to do everything necessary. I tightened my seatbelt. And they were now explaining the thing that happened. This thing, they were showing us, there is exit windows. Exit windows. No, exit doors in case of emergency. And they showed the position of the exit. They were in that small. There were 4. I made sure I looked every corner. I make sure I was sure of where the exit doors are. I make sure I was very sure of where the exit doors are, so that if in case of any case, there is no parking space in there. There's no parking space there in the hair. I said I have to make sure I know. When I saw the location of where then I calculated where I am to the door, to where the exit door is. I said, okay. I was quiet, but doing it inside my mind. And they told us there is that safety, I don't know what they call the safety something. They're like, it's a safety, it's a jacket or something. I think it's the one when something happens, you wear it. And I was paying attention to that woman and seeing her do everything, tying it. Then when there's that one that you see the lights, when it's not working, there's a provision of you. When it's not working, there's a provision of you blowing hair inside it. I said, okay. Then when there's the one you do and you all then you. I'm like, if one is mastered, I made sure I got everything so well. I said, I'm not making a mistake here. This is not a place for mistakes. I am so attentive. I've never been attentive in my entire life than that time. I made sure I am so attentive to the life-saving things in the plane. So that if in case of anything simple, I'm the first. I will remove everything very fast. Very fast to the exit door, and I jump. I cannot allow to die. I cannot allow to die. I cannot. In the plane, I would be the first to jump. Jesus. I will be like, now my people are following me. I will not allow, I will disappoint them. So I said, I made sure I understood everything was happening in the plane. Even those manuals, those books they put behind the seats, I read them. That short flight was only for that first local flight was a flight of just 1 hour, 2 hours, I think. We were supposed to first go stop over Nairobi, pick some people and drop some people, then go to Rwanda and wait for our flight to Nigeria. So when I sat in the plane, it was time to, now the plane is taking off. When the plane started, you know that small plane I use makes a lot of noise. Actually, my ears was getting blocked, and I have a problem with my ears. I've been using these things, and it has made my ears like ache when I listen to such certain noise. So my ears started feeling like, I don't know, like I don't understand. Like it first blocks and opens, blocks and opens, blocks. That thing round, like that thing rounding like this. That thing for the small local flights, it's so loud. You can feel like your ears are even about to burst. It's so loud. When we were taking off like this, my intestine, stomach, everything came up to my throat. Like they carried it. I was looking at everyone. Everyone is so calm. But me, I feel disturbed. I think if there was anyone next to me, they're saying, this girl, is her first time in this flight. It's her first time to enter in this flight, in an aeroplane. Because I almost screamed that time. At that time we were taking off. I felt, I don't know. I felt like my intestine and everything in my lower stomach was coming here. Like they were all coming through my throat outside. Like they all carried themselves. The way I say, I wish I could record that time when I would record exactly what was happening. At that point, even my camera, I made sure I put my camera phone, everything, I put it down. I couldn't hold anything. I was feeling so funny. I was like, this thing is dead. It was very funny. It was very funny. It's a very funny thing. By the way, it was very funny. When the plane took off, and now that plane is still accelerating, it's still going up. I was feeling like, I didn't know what are people enjoying. What do people enjoy in this aeroplane? You know, when I was like, hey, let me go back to my road. Let me go. This is not a nice experience. It's so scary. I was just seeing us going, and you see yourself leaving the ground, and you're like, the plane is like this, and you're like this. Hey, Che. I was like this, quiet. I couldn't even say a word. Jeez, oh my God, this one. A lot of things that I don't want to talk about. A lot of things were running in my head. This is my head here. When you reach up and you see it like this, you're like, God help us. This one now is in your hands, not our hands. This is in your hands. This is not a play. It's not a play place. So, you keep going up. This thing was making this small local flights here, local aeroplane here, the one that moves in short distance. That thing can make a lot of noise. I couldn't even sleep. I couldn't sleep. I don't know what is the best way to cover the ears and all that. I couldn't even sleep. just kept doing this that noise. I don't know how to prevent such noise, because to me it was almost bursting my ears. It was almost bursting my ears. Everything was just strange. When we went, we are now up. You're now up. You're seeing yourself living in the land. Reach some point where where I'm just seeing the clouds. The clouds they were looking like heaven. Like, you see those white clouds. And I'm imagining, I'm like, what if this is heaven and God is somewhere? And God is somewhere there. It was really amazing. When I was there up, I don't actually fear heights so much. I don't fear heights so much. It was just like, to me it was just amazing looking at everything. But my mind was not at peace. Trust me, your mind can never be at peace at that first flight. A lot of things running in my mind. A lot of things running in my mind. What if? Oh, Chineke. At that point, I stopped being scared of traveling to Nigeria. But I was scared of the flight now. I was scared of what... You know, like, your Africans, they're like, your people can decide to... your village people can do something, and something bad can happen in your first flight. So me, I was scared. Hey! So when we were moving at some point, then I relaxed. Then now, the worst part now during landing, I didn't sleep by the way. I was not sleeping. Those 2 hours in that short local flight before we went for the international flight. When they were landing, that's another problem. That is another problem. Landing. Jesus. I felt like holding. I don't know. You need to I cannot explain that experience. For me, like, it's like if things inside you your intestines are moving inside like this. The whole body knew this is strange. The stomach knew this is strange. The intestine knew that this is a strange thing. It's happening for the first time in your life. They don't know what it is, but I know this is a strange thing happening in your life for the very first time. Everything was just strange. But landing that time when the plane when you reach somewhere on here, and you get that thing knocking you like this, and you're like, I'm like, this is the time. Where is the exit door? That's what happened mostly when I was already international, when I was heading to Nigeria. That thing, that turbulence that hits the plane, and you feel like, I was now saying, this is the time to look at the exit door. I even first touched down to make sure that those safety wares, to make sure mine is there. I made sure mine is there down. I touched and felt it. I'm like, this is the time. But to me, in my head, I didn't know that this happens regularly. I thought that it was now some emergency beginning to come in. So I was getting myself ready. That's when I was in already on the international flight going to Nigeria. I'm like, this is the time. This is the time for me to look for all those necessary things. Jesus. I made sure I had everything. I look at the exit doors. I said, this is the time. I was so sad. Actually, at that point, I loosened my seatbelt. I loosened my seatbelt, so that it's not a problem again. Removing the seatbelt. I was ready. I was already on set. Go remove the jacket. Do all those things to the exit door and jump. I would jump. I say I cannot allow to die in a plane. I can jump. Hey, I've seen people jump. I would jump. However high. Actually, if it's on water, actually it's even much better, because water, as long as there's no reptiles and all that in water, I don't fear water. I can go and just stay there on water. I can float at least for some 30 minutes when I'm still alive. I can stay on water. Me, that thing in my head, I was on the plan. I'm like, yes, this is it. I'm ready for it. But after some time, that thing ended. And now the landing on the local flight was much dangerous to me. It felt like we were going that time when the how they put is it the tire? Is it called the tire? The tire of the plane. When it's touching the ground, it is like something is, it felt strange to me. I swear, I kept myself not to scream. I thank God I did not scream. I didn't scream at any point, but inside me, I was screaming so loud. But outside, but my eyes could show this girl is terrified. So terrified. Anyway, that is it for my first flight. I don't know. Everyone has their own experience, and this is my experience. I don't know. You guys, write down in the comment section if you also had a terrible experience like mine. Yeah? You know, there is no parking there. Okay. This is Bella. Thank you for watching my video. My next video dropping up is now my experience in Nigeria. I didn't want to drop my flight experience before the Nigeria experience. So Nigeria is coming immediately after this video. So thank you for watching. See you again at my next video. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like, comment down below if you have ever been to a flight. If your first flight and your only flight was falling from a mango tree down from your bed down. Yes, we pray for you that you experience that flight of going to heaven, that flight of the aeroplane. You should not stop with the mango trees only. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.